Hi, Kim. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to just chat with me a little bit about your experiences so far as we have kind of shifted into our new little experience of our yoga studio gone virtual. I want to just find out from you, first of all, you were here in Arizona
Hmm.
as a snowbird.
Yeah.
So do you mind to just kind of give a little bit of feedback from that versus where you are now?
Yeah. So originally I met you obviously in Arizona. I'm back in Massachusetts now. So, had certainly started thinking that I was going to, be at the studio doing yoga and some healing touch. Had some health concerns in that I was diagnosed with early stage breast cancer. So you and I kind of took that more healing touch route, which was great. But, is really excited that I've been able to transition and now returning to Massachusetts, still be able to do the yoga with you and do the healing touch because I never dreamed that was going to be possible.
Yeah, the remote healing touch aspect. You've had a session now, so in person versus remote. What kind of differences have you noticed from that?
I would say in person, and I don't know if it was the time or place, seemed a little bit more powerful in the beginning versus the remote. I have to say, at the very beginning of the remote session, it took myself a little bit of extra breathing to kind of settle myself down. And then I think the experience of it was maybe not as immediate during the 30-minute session, but then that night I had some really powerful dreams. So it just spaced out as a slightly different experience. Obviously, that's just one example. I guess we'll find out what happens as we move forward.
Yeah, yeah. So the remote live yoga classes that you're taking with me, what was kind of your first reaction to that?
I think my first reaction was, am I going to be able to make this happen by the time, I have to like look at you on the screen. I have to get my chair set up. What might my props be? But it actually turned out to be way easier than I thought. And I actually really like the fact that I was able to move my chair and just, I don't know, like I think when you're in a group class, sometimes you feel a little uncomfortable if you're the one person, doing something a little offbeat versus in the privacy of your own home. That's good. The other thing I think, because, I obviously didn't attend an in-person class with you, I love the detail that you give in terms of, the other day there was a thing and you were having us bend and you're like, bend your knees 6 inches. And I'm like, okay, well, I can do that. It just, it just made a lot of sense because even sometimes in an in-person yoga class, you're bending over, you're not looking at the instructor and you're like, is everybody else like sitting on the floor or type of thing. Maybe other people, but I sometimes think those kind of things.
No, that's good. That's good to know because from the standpoint of teaching, I personally, over my 21-year span of teaching yoga, in about the last 12 years, I have gotten away from doing hands-on adjustments. So
Okay.
I've just been using my voice to provide instruction. And so from the standpoint of what you're saying, that 6 inches, give a 6 inch bend to your knees. That makes sense. So good.
Right.
I'm glad that that's supportive for you as well. And what do you think about being able to do yoga in your home? Do you have distractions? Do you?
I actually have really enjoyed it. And in comparison to other group classes that I've actually found that I am making a better connection with my body, my breathing, because I actually have fewer distractions of that person next to you or potentially somebody's cough or their cell phone buzzing or, other things that I've encountered in classes. I actually find, it a little bit more powerful.
Oh, great. Okay. So in regards to your health issues, you're doing great. You're making strides. And
Yeah.
what has been maybe some of the poses in particular that you found in the beginning that were like, whoa, I'm not sure I can do this versus, oh, I can do this, and some feedback about that.
I think because I, have had a double mastectomy, and so was some, restrictions here through the chest area. So I think like even just the L pose, as simple as that was, it turned out to be really, a confidence builder, because I'm thinking, I'm not ready for downward dog. Downward dog is not going to happen. And then when we offered up the L pose in the chair class, I was like so excited. I was like, yay, because I think that's one of the biggest things in having gone through something that is so physically injurious to your body, is just rebuilding confidence around how the body works and the arms. So that's the one that comes to mind the most.
That's great. So L pose, do you do that while you're making your morning breakfast?
Haven't yet, but I could add that in.
I always have clients that say to me, oh yeah, well, I'm waiting on my coffee, I do L pose, or
yeah, no, I should give that a try.
yeah, it gives that space and flexibility in the morning, and it's a very different feel first thing in the morning than later in the day. Good. For sure.
No, nice.
Yeah. So what are some other expectations that maybe you thought coming into the virtual live yoga classes of your body? Did you have an expectation of what you thought you could or couldn't do? You've mentioned the L pose and down dog as being an adjustment. Coming from a yoga practice that you've taken before, has there been anything else that's shifted?
Not really. I think that, once again, your style of teaching, of giving the detail and giving up some alternatives, because, for example, my balance is not great right now as I'm recovering, and you've given some good modifications as to like touching the wall. Obviously, the chair class is an ideal class because you have the chair right there with you. So I feel like, through your teaching and your offering, it's working, and I'm not having any surprises.
Great. And you're also participating in the gentle yoga classes. So mm-hmm. The difference between the gentle class, which is mainly done on the floor or on a bed, and then the chair class, obviously we're standing, holding on a chair or sitting in a chair. So do you have any feedback in regards to how the gentle practice is working for you?
Once again, I found it to be, a really positive experience. And, I know I took it last Sunday. I slept really good afterwards. The timing for me is, nice on the East Coast because it's 7:00. So it dovetails nicely into your evening routine, which is a real plus. So I found that, and I think the biggest thing with that, some of what we did last week, it helped to open up my lower back a little bit different than the chair class did. And Great. I think that, just I am sitting around a lot more than I might usually be. So.
Great. Okay. Well, that's really good feedback. Do you have anything else that you care to share, or?
Not that I can think so. I mean, I'm pleased that I've been able to continue. Never anticipated that when I left Arizona that this would be an option, but I'm really pleased, and, just look forward to continuing.
Fantastic. Well, Kim, thank you so much for chatting with me about your experience having both the remote healing touch and participating in the remote yoga classes as well. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. All right. I'll see you at 7:00 or 4:00 your time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.